In this series, I made the ninjas that are 50 years into the future, and in this episode, I'm going to be making Jay's car. So make sure you stay till the end. This is going to get pretty cool. I started with a sketch of it, and as you can tell, it's very detailed, and I wanted it to look really smooth, and I think I captured that, maybe not perfectly, but I am limited in my pieces. After I finished the sketch, I went on to the build. This thing took me around 2 to 3 hours to finish, and I have a bunch of these wrench pieces, and I want to somehow incorporate these into this set. So here's the build. I came out with 2 builds, the car and then a side build that has a little shooter on it. The overall impressions of this hover car I think are really cool. The look of the hover car is cool, and then the side build is really simple, but it's a good piece, I think. I'm not completely sure how many pieces this set has, but if I were to guess, I'd say around 200 to 300 pieces, which I'm pretty sure would go for around $25 to $35. But as of now, the prices LEGO is charging, $50. Let's start off with the minifigures you get. You get Jay, Cole, the mechanic, and yes, that is totally original. And then you get a little villager dude. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about these minifigures because if you want to hear me talk about them, I'll link the video to the future Ninjago minifigures down below. But yeah, these minifigures are really nice, and the pouches they have all over their bodies, in case you're wondering, holds a bunch of grenades, so yeah. The Cole minifigure is pretty simple. He's just the sea-bound Cole with some different shoulder pads, nothing crazy. But his weapon is kind of crazy. If you want to find out what's so special about it, hit the link in the description below and find out for yourself. And then there's the mechanic minifigure. I used the wrenches that I had for his weapons because he's a mechanic, he uses them to fight. And this minifigure is kind of simple, but I think he's pretty cool. And then you get the villager minifigure, which don't really got anything to say about him, he's just kind of there. And then here's the backs of all the minifigures. I'll go through them one at a time. The villagers is just kind of bland, the mechanics is pretty cool. Cole's is just the sea-bound, you've probably seen it before. And then yes, Jay does have a dinosaur on the back of his. Don't ask. Let's get those minifigures out of the way because we want to look at the builds. The side build only has 13 pieces, but I think it gets the point across of what it's supposed to be. It's just there to hold the weapon. And if you're wondering what the weapon does, well, here's an illustration. So you can see why you don't want to get shot by it. The gun itself I believe is an alien piece, but I'm not completely sure. Then let's put that back so we can look at the main build. Now this thing is awesome. The colors, as you can see, are white, blue, and some dark blue, and I think the look of it is really nice. The front bumper has some nice geometry to it, which looks really cool. The headlights are kind of cool. I had my Christmas lights next to this, and when they were on, it made them look like they were glowing. Yes, I'm already decorated for Christmas. You're welcome. I tried to put a bunch of points on this vehicle, and if you haven't noticed, you might want to check if you need glasses. Both sides of this vehicle are pretty smooth, and one issue I have with this is that it's not super blue. I mean, it's blue enough you can tell it's Jay's, but it's kind of a little more white than I'd prefer, but I ran out of blue pieces, so I couldn't help that. The windshield is held on by a piece that's in the engine. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's just another simple way to do it. The windshield I used for this car is the same one I used for Kai's vehicle, except in blue. If you open this thing up, you can fit the Jay minifigure in there pretty nicely. It's a nice fit, and it looks really cool. Then once he's completely in there, you can close it, and it looks really nice. When I was getting pretty close to finishing this, I thought it was funny because it looks really similar to the Batman tumbler set that they made a while ago. If you're looking toward the engine from right behind the windshield, it looks really cool. It looks like you're looking out of a really fancy sports car. If you look toward the back of it, you can see these really 2 big engines, which are made so it can give it a blast. And each one of these engines takes about 4 pieces to make. And as you can tell, one of the main ones is a huge engine. If you're looking straight down at this vehicle, I really like how you can mainly see blue. And then the Nexo Knights piece that's shooting into the windshield. The back bumper of this thing is really cool. The pointy piece that it goes pointing up makes it look really futuristic. And then of course, there's another spike. And I can't remember what these things are called, but they're the things that are really cool on the back of race cars. I love how I got a lightning piece on the side of this. It really fits Jay, and I got it from his Stormfighter back from Season 2, which is a great set, and if you don't have it, I feel bad for you. And then of course I made the other side look the exact same because if it didn't, that'd be weird. From the bottom, this thing looks really funny. It has the wheels on the sides, and it looks kind of awkward, but I mean, I guess that's how you have to have it for it to work. And every wheel does turn. And since this thing is supposed to be a hover car, I think it looks really good when it's driving. It does kind of look like it's hovering. Whoa, what is that? If you want me to do a review on this set, 1,000 likes below. Here's a 5-second review on this set. It's great, it's huge, it's awesome, but it's expensive, so yeah. Back to Jay's hover car review. Just like the Kai Jet I made last episode, this thing comes apart into 4 parts. There's the right side, left side, bumper, and then the main body of it. Without its side, the main body of this thing looks really funny. The sides are just kind of bland and it looks really skinny. And you can see just like on my Kai Jet, this thing has a bunch of snot on the sides of it. But from the front, it doesn't look too bad by itself. The right and left sides of this thing don't look complex and they weren't hard to build, but they definitely make the car look complete. You can see it's just a bunch of slopes and then a 6-piece put on the back of it made in black. Now I think the bumper looks really cool, but one downside I have about it is the sides break off really easy, but it's not like you're actually ramming it into stuff, so it should be fine. But overall, the bumper is probably one of my favorite parts of this thing. If this was ever a LEGO set, I could see it being 5 bags. The main part getting 2 bags with the side build, the right half of it, the left half of it, and then the bumper. This set is awesome. If you want me to make a part 3 to this series, comment below, like the video, and subscribe. Wait, what's he doing here? Wait. Help!